So rather than another guide, I decided to try something a little different. Since my main role is AD, I thought I'd share some of my knowledge in that role and make a video on how to position during team fights. I'm really looking for feedback and advice, so if you have any, please don't hesitate to message me or comment on this video. Firstly, I'd like to say a few general things about playing AD carry. After that, I'll go into some great detail and do breakdowns of team fights with a video explaining what I'm doing and the reasoning behind it. One of the biggest misconceptions of playing AD carry is who you should be focusing. I've seen it countless of times when playing on different accounts or talking with friends that people are saying things like, OMG Severe, why you no focus Ashe? This is completely incorrect. As an AD carry, your primary job should be auto-attacking whoever you can from range. It doesn't matter if it's Malphite with his frozen heart, you still can't run past him or you'll die very fast and the fight will be lost anyway. Ideally, the dream of an AD carry should be auto-attacking as much as possible from the greatest range possible as well. Obviously this isn't realistic as you have things like skill shots, stuns, and the state of your cooldowns and things like that to worry about, but it should be the start of what you should be striving to achieve. Imagine a scale. On one end it's not auto-attacking or moving at all, and on the other end it's auto-attacking from the furthest range possible and as much as you possibly can. Depending on how far you are towards the latter of this scale, depends on what your skill as a carry in teamfights is. As an AD, it isn't only your job to keep you alive, it's the job of your entire team also. However, I would say that you have the largest factor in if you stay alive or not. Sometimes it doesn't just have to be your support protecting you, say you have a Nautilus jungle, for example, that is an excellent champion for protecting your AD carry due to the amount of CC he brings. The more CC people protecting you bring the longer amount of time you have to auto-attack. On the other hand, a champion like Aurelia isn't exactly great at protecting a carry, and her skill set more suits jumping after the enemy's carry and taking him out, much the same with heroes like Nocturne or Fizz. However, this is all relative. If you have a 15-5 Kog'Maw on your team and the enemy has a 0-5 Ashe, assuming it isn't 1 hour into the game, you'll always want to prioritize on taking the damage off Kog'Maw instead of killing Ashe. In teamfights towards the late game, you should basically almost exclusively just be auto-attacking. It's not worth shooting Caitlyn's ultimate or Piltover Peacemaker during a teamfight because your auto-attacks simply do just much more damage. So here we have the start of a teamfight. It's our first teamfight in the game. We're 5 kills behind, and one thing you'll notice is instantly Aurelia and Nocturne are just jumping straight for me. Kog'Maw will still deal quite a lot of damage in the mid game, regardless of what items he's got. Right now, I've only got a Zeal and a Wriggles as my damage items, and I'm still able to do so much damage with my W% damage. As you can see, everyone on my team is basically rushing to my protection. There's 2 exhausts put right onto Nocturne, and all while this is happening, Caitlyn is shooting everyone on my team. But because she doesn't have that many items, she's not a very good mid-game champion. She's got an okay late game and a good early game, but she's nowhere near doing enough damage as I am. So that's why my team is basically rushing to my aid. And as you can see here, Aurelia notices I've got very little protection again, so I have to pop my heal, and I have to basically wait for my W to come up again. And as Kog'Maw, when your W is down, your range is reduced greatly. It's reduced to something like 450 or 475, something like that. And you basically can't do much apart from walk around and hit whoever you can. Can get you in a dangerous position if you're going to auto-attack people with the short range, though. It also doesn't do that much damage really either. So I just like to walk around and do some spells and slow people coming towards me and things like that. So once again, I find myself into a team fight. We begin the team fight basically catching Anivia off guard and getting her quite low. Right now I'm pretty much in no danger of being killed as all of my team are basically in front of me. Anivia flashes away, and as you can see now, Nocturne's first running straight for me. He's trying his best to get towards me, but Nautilus and Mundo are just providing too much CC to get towards me, and I just slowly back away until I'm able to take him down. Of course, I've got a few more items here, so it's generally going to be a lot easier after the first fight. In this clip, I'm playing Graves in a scrim against Fnatic, and Arjana goes down straight away in this clip, and Nunu's about to ulti me, about to get his full ulti off on me here, but I dash away just at the right second. which was very helpful to not get all that damage done to me. And Vlad, in his last-ditch effort, just throws his ult right onto me, which I suppose I couldn't have anticipated coming, but Lamia makes the foolish mistake of jumping straight onto me, and this is what I want to talk about. This is something you should never do. You should never use your jump on Tristana like this on someone, and it basically completely lost them the fight here, which they otherwise would have won. And Morgana's doing a good job of protecting me here while I kite Mundo around, constantly running away and shooting in between. You know, not in between anything, just I'm shooting whenever I feel I have the chance of being safe. Now I'll move on to some analysis of gameplay in teamfights. Enough time to run away again. Here's the second teamfight of the game, and instantly Morgana goes straight into the middle of everyone and gets his ult off, and just at the last second manages to pop his Zhonya's, and once again Lamia jumps right in and is basically dead straight away again because of jumping in with his W like that. You can see now I'm jumping over the wall here to try and take Shushi on, which was just a massive mistake from me, as I could not kill him. I couldn't kill him 1v1 probably, even if I wanted to. So I try to help Nocturne out by chasing down Mundo and Nunu, but maybe I could have tried to kill Cyanide here, but Gangplank was back on his way as well, and I just couldn't do anything except die here, pretty much. I managed to get my ult off on everyone in the fight, and one thing I should not have done here is use my heal. I should definitely not have done that. I should have known that I was dead, and it was pretty much a complete waste of a 260-second cooldown summoner. In the next team fight, I basically start off by doing as much damage as I can to Gangplank while keeping myself safe. Once again, I take another Vlad ultimate on the chin here, and Mundo starts his pursuit on me, chasing me down with his ultimate. At this point, he basically has War Mogs and Ninja Tablets, and there's no way for me to 1v1 him, so I have to flash over that wall there, and I'm pretty much trying to do as much damage as I can, but Gangplank has a BF sword, and it's going to be quite difficult for me to take him down and not go with him. But we managed to catch Nunu here, and I think we come out ahead at the end of this team fight. So somehow they got Baron, and it looks like we're about to lose an inhib, but Baron Panda makes a really clutch play and takes advantage of Lamia's bad positioning and instantly EQs right into him, and I notice this and basically just shoot my ult directly into him also, and just from them having their AD carry instantly killed, it allows us basically to win the fight and clean up as many kills as we can. And right now Mundo's he's on my ass again, and I'm just getting exhausted, and I'm just trying to kite him around as much as I can. He misses his cleaver, so he's not gonna do that much damage to me unless he hits his cleaver. But we managed to kill everyone else and just finish him off as well. In this engage, I've noticed I'm taking very little focus and not really being touched at all by anyone, so my natural reaction is to just do as much damage as I can and not be afraid of the possibility of taking lots of damage. And I managed to do quite a bit of damage out of that, and this is probably one of the only examples you should use Valkyrie in an offensive way like this, since if you use it offensively in the wrong time, it can really screw you over, much the same with Tristana's jump. In this clip I'm playing Ezreal. I'm not doing terribly good. I'm 1 for 4, and once again Tristana jumps straight into our team and instantly gets focused down by TF, and it loses them the fight straight away, and we can just kite the rest of their bruisers and get another bunch of free kills. I can't stress enough how much you shouldn't use the Tristana jump to jump in like that. It's basically a complete waste of an escape. It's like using an escape to kill yourself. There's really no point in it. The only time you should be jumping in like that is in lane, when you're trying to use the early damage of it to get some kills. So here I'm playing Ashe, and the first thing you'll notice is that I ulti onto Alistar. And the reason I did this was because I knew he didn't have his ultimate up, and if you can kill someone so quickly who holds so much CC like Alistar, it can be very beneficial. And we pretty much finish off the fight there, and because I've got my slow on all the time, we can constantly slow Kennen and just pick up another kill for free, and it wouldn't have been the same if I was on a different champion that didn't have a slow, unless I had red buff, of course. And playing Ashe in team fights isn't as hard as it may look. You just have to constantly kite, shoot, go back as quick as you can, and just imagine yourself as you're playing just any old ranged AD but with a constant and slower red buff, and just make sure you constantly have the frost arrow on, as it makes it a lot easier to be able to kite bruisers down. Here I'll run down of how I think some of the most popular carries should be played in teamfights. Most of my advice copies over to each carry, but I feel any information can help. Corki. You basically want to be AoEing with all of your spells except Valkyrie on the largest group of targets possible. The amount of damage you can do with your spells early to mid game with Corki is immense. And don't forget to keep auto-attacking though, as that's where your most sustained damage comes from. Only use Valkyrie to chase down kills you know are for sure. Otherwise just use it as a small jump to escape from a bruiser or take you out of a sticky situation. Ashe. One of the first things you'll notice about Ashe is that she has nothing to affect her movement speed or any dash/roll. This can take a little bit of getting used to if you're used to playing other carries. You can use your ult if a bruiser is stuck onto you, so you can gain some distance and start slowing and kiting again, in much the same way you use flash for that also. It's also important to use W on cooldown as well, as it can help a lot in terms of kiting a bruiser down. Some bruisers are very easy for Ashe to kite and escape from, for example Udyr or Volibear. On the other hand, some are not easy at all for Ashe to kite, for example Aurelia or Jax. In my opinion, the best support to help Ashe in teamfights is Janna, as she makes up for the lack of movement that Ashe has. Graves. He's quite similar in the way that you play Corki. The more enemies that are grouped up, the more effective your spells will be. However, the dash of Graves also provides him with an attack speed buff, so using it in the right time is an essential part of playing Graves. Using it will give you a good damage increase, but you will also be at risk of not being able to use it again to escape afterwards. So using it in the right time just sets the difference between a good Graves player and a bad one. Kog'Maw. In the same way that Ashe has nothing to help her move around faster, it's the same with Kog'Maw. If he doesn't have on-hit slows like Ashe does, but his E is quite a potent slow too. You only want to use E when you need to. Don't randomly shoot it into the middle of a team fight unless someone is rushing straight for you. The same can be said for his W. Don't use it even a couple seconds before you start auto-hitting someone, as you are very weak without it. Using Kog'Maw's W and E in the right situations during a teamfight is what separates a good Kog'Maw player from a bad one. Thanks for watching my guide to play AD carry. I hope you have learned a few things, and like I said at the start of the video, I'm really looking for feedback and advice, so if you have any constructive criticism, please send me a message or comment here. Also, I've put up the Reddit link in the description. If you could upvote that would really help me out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video.